Happy Friday, everyone. So I wanted to share a little bit. I had quite an interesting day yesterday, and I had some really amazing conversations. And there was a couple. It seemed to be this theme because I had a couple of women that I spoke with that are both going through some really tough life changes. But while they're in it, they're also like discovering themselves, and it becomes difficult when those around you don't understand. And one of them in particular, she's really, I just have this place in my heart for her. We've known each other for a very long time, and she was there for me when I was in what I would call probably my darkest hours and my hardest times. She actually lived with me right after when I was going through my divorce, and I was a new single mom, and I was struggling. I was trying to figure out, who I was, what I was gonna do, what is this life about? Because this is not what I had planned. This is not what I planned. And so we got to talking, and she's, talking about her struggles now because she's in a similar situation. And at one point she said, I feel like I'm living in your shoes. And when I knew you then, I didn't truly understand what you were going through. I didn't truly understand the trauma and how hard it really was for you. And I wish I could have been there for you more. She doesn't know that she had a huge impact on me. Just being present was enough. Just being there to support me was enough. And the beautiful thing with what I went through with her was that she saw somebody that was struggling, and I was driven. I wanted to make things work. I wanted my life to work, and I wanted to be successful, and I wanted my kids to have a beautiful, phenomenal life and have everything available to them that they could possibly want. And so I was in this process of self-discovery, and she was there every step of the way. She never questioned, what I was doing. She never told me, well, you shoulda, coulda, woulda. She wasn't going backwards on me, but she was just present. She was just there for me in those moments. And, I really value those times because it was moments that it just changed everything. It was a moment when I actually felt like, all right, Shan, you have another chance. Here's another chance. What do you want to do with it? And I had people tell me all the time, Shannon, I couldn't do what you're doing. I couldn't handle things the way that you're handling them. And I disagreed with them, because it's all a choice. We could easily crumble. We could easily fall apart. But we can choose to pick the pieces back up, but put them together in a different way. You can also choose to grow and to learn from the situation rather than blaming everybody else and somebody did such and such to me, and say, you know what, I played a part. I played a part in that, and I need to recognize it, and what can I do to grow and to make sure that doesn't happen again. The other woman that I spoke to yesterday, she's going through, again, a really difficult time, and she's recognizing that over this last year, she's made so many changes. And she's at this pivotal point where people around her are recognizing these changes, and they don't know how to take it. They don't understand. And I've been there too. There comes a point when you're growing and you're moving forward with your life and you're trying to become a better person, just be a better version of yourself. And those around you that you've known the longest are going, well, that's not the Shannon that I know. Well, yeah, I sure hope not, because if I'm the same person you knew 5 years ago, we have a problem. That means I haven't been doing my job. And so take a step back and look around. Who is your group? Who is your community? Who are the people that are supporting you? And who are the people that are really going, hey, I like the old you, bring it back, because guess what? That makes me more comfortable. I feel better when you don't grow because they're not growing. You're just a big mirror showing them that they're stagnant. So don't ever let somebody else decide for you whether or not your journey or the changes you've made are good for you. It is up to you, and it is okay to say, you know what? I've grown, and we grew together for a while, but now I've grown into something different and you stopped growing with me. We grew apart, and that's okay. It's okay to have friends, it's okay to have family, and it's okay to have relationships that grow to the point that they're supposed to, and then you move forward. Because there are so many other people that can relate to you and that can help you and build you into a better person. You know, when I was struggling, I remember there was a point where I was like, what is it with these people that are super successful but started from nothing? What is different about them versus me? How come they can do it but I haven't done it? You know, what's different? Because that's what I want. I don't want to rely on anybody else. I also, you know, like, what am I supposed to do? I don't have a college education. I'm a single mom. I was, you know, I think when I got divorced, I was 25, guys, 25. I was married at 19. I know, shocker. So I was a child. I didn't know. And I spent my time building a family. So when I was by myself, I went, oh my God, what do I do? Everybody told me you have to go to college in order to be successful. And I started looking at what are those really super successful people doing? What are they doing that's different than what I'm doing? And it all stemmed with this belief, this unwavering belief that they could create whatever they wanted. They just had to believe it and they had to bust their ass for it. And I was like, that's gonna be me. And for those of you that are going through those life changes that are literally life changing, you know, not one of those I'm having a bad month, but literally life changing, and everything feels like it's turned upside down. Half the people that you know don't know you anymore. Don't give up. This is the hard part, but once you get past it, it's amazing. It's absolutely phenomenal looking back and saying, thank God I did all of that. Thank God I took the time to believe in me and to really push for better me, to stop sometimes and say, you know what? It's like I told my 7-year-old last night, it's okay to get scared and say, you know what? Sorry, I messed up. Get scared. Because you know what? When you're afraid and when you're nervous and you're uncomfortable, that means that you're growing. And that's what you should be doing. If you're not growing, you're stagnant. And do you really want to be where you're at right now in 5-10 years? Is this where you want to be? And I don't care how successful you are, how, you know, perfect your family is. Everybody wants to grow. So don't ever let other people define your journey, and don't ever be afraid to say, I've outgrown you, and it's okay to move forward, because you're just opening up space for people that have more in common with you and people that you aspire to be like, because they build you, they push you to grow. That's who you should be around. You know, I just thought I would share. Yesterday was really powerful. You know, it was one of those days where I you know, ran into quite a few people and had really good conversations, and I feel really blessed that I'm a person that they feel comfortable and confident in, and having those type of conversations with me. I think it's beautiful, because you should have somebody to just kind of like spew on a little bit and get it all out there, and talk about where you're struggling, and talk about where you feel stuck, and talk about where your fears are, and how sometimes you're scared and you want to give up and you want to go back, because it's so much easier to just go backwards. But I promise you, it's not. It is not easier, because being in that spot, it's exhausting. You're frustrated and you're stagnant just like everybody else, and nobody wants to be stagnant. So I hope that everybody has an amazing Friday. And the weekend is here. I feel like for us that every day is a Saturday. So I sometimes get lost in my days. So I hope everybody has a great day. And, you know, I hope that you find value in this. And hopefully, you know, those of you that are working to better yourself, that you just keep taking steps. Just keep going forward, you guys. All right. Bye.